Start with the matters that, right. All right, let's start here. We've heard a lot of people talking about Ngichontjelwe ingoma. Someone stole my song, right? We are going to start there because that is where I've seen a lot of problems. People usually lose their songs because, one, there wasn't a split sheet that was agreed upon, right? A split sheet is a document in which the members or the people involved in a particular song, in making a particular song, agree to what percentage each member has contributed. It also explains the owner of that particular song, right? That's one of the things. We're also going to talk about metadata. Metadata is the information that is on a particular file, be it your MP3, your music. The information that you put, the track name, the artist name, the publisher, ISRC code, all that stuff. We're also going to talk about a DJ pack. A DJ pack is the reason why DJs don't play your music, especially in the clubs, because you did not give them the versions that they can use for mixing into and out of your song. That's one. Having a radio version that radio can then play, and having the necessary a cappella and instrumentals for them to be able to use your music, right? Performance track, you cannot leave the studio without a performance track, please. This business of people singing on top of lyrics and stuff is not professional. So you're supposed to make sure before you leave the studio, you talk to your producer. Maybe there's a separate arrangement that you can do because that's extra work on top of the recording that you've done. So what you then do is you make sure you've got a performance-ready track, which allows you to have your verses there, as well as you being able to perform. You can have ad-libs and remove the actual verses so that you can perform them live and you're not performing on top of your lyrics. Right. Sometimes you can have a backtrack or you can have a live band. So the more performance tracks that you have to fit different environments, the better. All right. We'll talk about that in detail. And then the master recordings is who owns the particular music that you've just recorded. Who's the owner of it? Because this is where money is made, from being the owner of the what? Of that particular recording. Because you can't then manipulate that particular recording to make money out of it if you are not the owner of it. Especially when we're now talking about things like sync licensing, right? Which is what we are going to get into. All right, let's go. Right, so sync licensing is the first thing. Sync licensing is basically a synchronization license agreement surrounding the use of recorded music in any product involving the simultaneous use of music and moving images. So every time you see a film, a video game, right? Dramas, shows, movies, advertisements, that is sync licensing. And this is where us as musicians can make money from. Right now, we've got someone from Bulawayo, I think it's called Cosmos. He got a sync licensing deal for one of Netflix series that is coming up on TV. And what happens is they are using the audios, the sounds that he created to explain or enhance a certain mood within a series. Now that there is Netflix, I don't see why a lot of people, especially musicians and producers, cannot make money. Because that is an open case for you to what? To send in your audios. So usually these people send in briefs and they will say, we have got a film that is about love or whatever. We are looking for this type of music. They'll give you an example of a sound. So you research the sound and then you make sure that you then send according to the brief. The The brief will be specific. There's a sound, the information that they want, right? And then you send through. So in order for you to be able to be eligible for those things, you need to make sure split sheets, they are there, so that they know who is the publisher, the producer, the owners, and all that stuff. And then you link up with what is called a music supervisor. That music supervisor is the person that usually get brief slower and start looking for musician. They are like the go-between, the bridge. It's hard for a musician to go directly to the Netflix TV series and get that deal. But there are people called music supervisors. Those are the people that you go to. And then you what? You follow and get briefs. And then they will then go through your music and see if your music is what will work for this particular series. Right. So why am I telling you all this? As you will find out, in order to work with sync agents and music supervisors, you need to have split sheets in order and your metadata in place. Remember the metadata I explained, Uti, it's those information about your song that you put in. Right, let's move on to the next. Right, split sheet. I've already alluded to it. The definition is a written agreement that seeks to identify each contributor to a song and make certain ownership percentages amongst them. The agreed percentages are important as they determine how much a contributor will receive. So usually you have, in a song, you've got the people that wrote the lyrics, the songwriters, right? And then you've got the producer's share, the people that wrote the actual music notation. These days we call them producers in the sense that they used DAW, digital audio workstations. Whether you used the Fruity Loops or you used Cubase or you used Suno, or all that type of stuff, right? So a song is 100%, 50% for the lyrics, those that wrote the song, ghostwriters or whoever wrote the lyrics, and 50% the actual music. That's 50%. So it's 100%, right? So a music split sheet, a song split sheet, will then show Uguti from the 50% Yama writers, the guys that wrote the lyrics, Ngaboban, who are they? Your names are there. And then it will be divided. If there is 3 people there, that 50% has to be divided on you 3 people. 50% ngapha yama producer, the same thing as well. That's what a song split sheet is about. So there is no way you can then have a problem to say who owns the song if that split sheet is done. You get what I mean? Right, Asambe? I think some of these things will make sense as we are, getting into it. Right. So a split sheet, what does it contain? I think I alluded to some of the things already. You have your name of the song, the legal name of the contributing, your birth name, the one that's on the ID, right? Their roles. Did the guy was he a songwriter, producer? What did he do? The share of the songwriter percentages, is it 10%, 20%, or whatever? Performing rights organization, I'm a PRO. Who are you registered under? Is it Zimura? Is it Samro? Escape, BMI, all that stuff. Your information, in case we want to reach out to you, all your contact details, they are there. And we have to sign, Uguti, we agree, Uguti, you are taking 10% of that song. So that every time that song generates royalties, you are getting that 10% for yourself, right? Why are split sheets important? They show who owns what percentage in a song, since music split sheets are drafted according to contributions made to the song. This document clearly outlines what each contributor is entitled to in terms of royalties and income split shares of revenue generated from exploitation of this song. Those feuds that you see on ownerships of songs can easily be avoided by having a split sheet properly filled in and signed as soon as the song is done. So why we are saying this split sheet must be done before you leave the studio is because when the vibe is correct, everyone is happy, the song is taking shape, we're smiling, we're all in that room. That is the best time to have the split sheet signed. Ungamelela ukuthi ingoma uphume lokhu isalungiswa and all that stuff, you're going to have problems because that contract is not there. That is how you protect yourself. So if you are an artist, when you're going to work and collaborate with other people, it is advisable. Woba le split sheet sakho. That agreement will help you to show what you contributed. And when everyone is happy, everyone smiles, everyone signs, we're good to go. Right? Gusasa ingoma yona le is now playing on some commercial advert. You can pull out ukuthi lami I'm owed 10%. Go to the courts, go to the lawyers, go to the guys as well. Guys, lingangkhohlwa phela. Don't forget me, I'm there. You get me? That's your legal documentation. And it stops a lot of feuds. It's so simple. A simple piece of paper like this can stop a lot of feuds. Right? I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. There is a song split sheet there, just the song one. Because there's different types of split sheets. But I just want the song one. Maybe you can just give you an idea of what a song split sheet looks like before we move forward. I feel like this is very important for us to really understand and see what it looks like. It's in the same folder written book one. Right. This is as simple as it is. You can put your logo, larynx beats, certified audio. You put the song title, the date, the project, then the percentages now. He's the publishing, the songwriter, all that information is input inside there. Right. It's very simple to put in. I don't want to dwell too much on this. I will give you guys copies on corner. And then I will try and do practical, because I know some guys are producers, some guys are artists and stuff. So you'll have all of this information, and then we'll break it down a bit further. All right, let's go back. Just wanted to show you guys at least what we're talking about realistically. All right, thanks, man. All right, so let's move forward. Right, so I've already explained when you should do the split sheet in the studio when everyone is happy. There's a website, songsplits.com. For those people that are collaborating with people out of the country or online, right? This website, if you go to it, it allows you to input information in a way that is contractual and keeps that information for you. So it's called songsplits.com. If you go to it, it will, as you are putting details on Alawana that I was telling you about, your date, your information, your whatnot, especially during COVID. I think that was when that website, I noticed it. So you can easily have a website that allows you to still have the confines of a contract, because you cannot edit things afterwards. And when someone signs, it's now sealed. You get what I mean? So that's the website, www.songsplits.com. If you cannot sign, then scan and send to someone else to sign, then scan. That's the platform for you to go, right? Those that work online, I'm sure all of us also have those things as well, right? So for online collaborations, how best you can do this, you can go to that website, songsplits.com, and all contributors can then register. They are songwriters, verify. All that stuff is on that particular website as well. All right. I think I've already explained that one. Right, we can carry on. Right. Okay, so you can Google one form, but I will definitely give you guys ama song splits la one. All right, let's move forward. try and catch up with time. All right, so basically what we've just said is that a split sheet is defined as a written agreement that seeks to identify each contributor to a song and make certain ownership percentages amongst them. The agreed percentages are important as they determine how much each contributor will receive from the royalties generated. Right, so you fill in that one when everyone is good and happy, and then if you can't do it online, you use e-song splits. These days, DistroKid, which is a music distributor, now allows you to also split the royalties. You don't have to physically get the money and then decide to give 10% Loana, 10% Loana. Because sometimes streams, imali yankhona incane. It's very small. The money is very small, so they can already apportion for you. So they do have like a split sheet, splits at the dashboard, and then you can then put the contributor's email address and the percentages that they put in, right? And then it sends an email to them. Labana, if they agree with what you're saying, they will then put in information and agree to the terms. Then automatically it means royalties, when they come, they're already split with them. Obviously, DistroKid being DistroKid, if you have a DistroKid account, it's easy. It will just go directly. I don't know if you can do it from DistroKid to TuneCo or DistroKid to Dito, how to go about that. But I know from DistroKid to DistroKid, you can do that. Same thing with YouTube. YouTube now allows you to invite someone and be a collaborator, right? You can now be the same, on one project, you can have multiple people having ownership of that particular video, right? So depending on whether your YouTube ID is already collecting money, it will then split the royalties or AdSense revenue that you have generated from that particular video to the people that are, assigned to that video, collect, right? I think that's done for split sheets. Any questions? Any questions? Good. Oh, yeah.
You said the song is 100%, 50% to the lyricist and 50% to the producer. Are you using the term producer to mean composer? Because I'm thinking there might be a composer in the studio and also a producer. No, I'm saying on the song, when the song is being made, there might be a producer in the studio and a composer in the studio. How then?
Usually what happens is, depending on the terminology you are using, we can even further break down a producer into beat makers as well and instrumentalists as well, you see. So on that split sheet, you can actually, I think DistroKid now allows you to even credit someone who did sound engineering or did background vocals. You can put it there. This guy did background vocals, so we're giving them 5% or 2%. If you feel like that person should get something out of that. You get what I mean? Because those terms are loosely used by a lot of people, but it all depends. Lina studio konapo, what are you using it to mean? You check out. Yes, because you are an author. You're still, others will say you are an author as well. I think he wants to say something.
So basically what you're saying is, in the 100%, 50% for production goes to whoever was the beat maker, whoever was an instrumentalist. That's where their percentage comes from that 50%. So 50% is the overall, and then whoever was a composer, maybe someone who said, no, change that kick, you can give them 1% from that 50%, which then applies to the other side of the artist. If there was someone who did backings, let's say someone who added some writing to it, it comes from their 50%.
this is best case scenarios. Well, I'm trying to give you the best case scenarios. If you find people that are fair, that want to get everyone involved, that want to get, sometimes what happens is, omunye umuntu will buy out someone and say, fine, you're doing background vocals or whatever. Can I hire you for that? So I will pay out of pocket to say, this is the service that you're going to give me. You get what I mean? Someone can then buy out the production and say, instead of you being 50% of production, can I buy the beat, pay for the studio time, pay for your composing or whatever? Because you can also have an arranger on there. So, gunengi sibili. But the problem is, we usually just look at those main people in an instance. You rarely find a thing with everyone detailed down. But you should actually find everyone detailed down if they worked on the song. So you are very correct.
Maybe just to emphasize, especially for those that do live recording, and if you are a guitarist and you are the one who played the tune, you are not given the notes. That means you are a composer as well. That means you are entitled to what? To a share. Like you said, if you then did the arrangement, you are also entitled. So maybe it's just a matter of terms. Because for a lot of people, they define a song as the lyrics and the composition, of which the composition then includes all those other people that are involved, the guitarist, the keyboardist, the person who did the arrangement, and so forth.
I think the way we use these terms is very loosely. And thank you very much for bringing that up. Because the way we understand, omunye uzakuthi, I'm a beat maker, I'm not a producer. And someone will say, I'm a producer because I take the beats and I make them, I include all these sort of people and whatnot. I think he's a producer. He can definitely give you the breakdown of how he's different from a beat maker. You get what I mean? But all I'm saying is, all those people that were involved in that particular recording, if you're not on the split sheet, it becomes hard to say you were part of that recording. And for you to get what's due to you, when you're now collecting in several places for your money. So a lot of some of these things are it's an oversight. But Nasa best practices. All right, I think I should emphasize that a bit more. Best practices, because we've got ways that we're already doing things. But the best practices, this is what they say should happen. And that thing doesn't stop there. It's got a lot, I don't want to confuse publishers, what and stuff, but in a nutshell, because I had people that registered. So I looked at who are they, their producers and their artists. So I'm trying to really get down to those specifics so that it's easier for them to get a foot in the door. Once they are in, then we go deeper and we explain further. All right, so thank you very much for the contributions, guys. Yes. Oh, you've got a question.
In case lapha maybe ubhadalele music yakho, ubhadalele urecorder, and uyobhadala urecord imali ngoyikhiphile. Is there a need to include those split sheet?
Yes.
Etwele futhi imali.
You still need a split sheet as long as you are not buying out the intelligence that the producer put. Did you pay for his skills? So you have to be specific. Ukuthi Zwana, angifuni ufaka ku split sheet. I want to own this song 100%. You get what I mean? His name will still appear on the credits, but good percentage ownership, he won't be there. You still have to credit him because he made the beat, or he made recording or whatever. But there has to be an agreement to say, I am now buying ownership of that song so that I now own the rights to that song 100%. You get what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, so the buying out is separate from the producer's work.
I know this topic is big.
Right. So the question that my brother asked, I had an argument with someone who wanted to do the same thing, saying I want to buy. With him, it was different at first because he wanted to buy a beat that has no tag. And then I told him, go and buy a Mercedes-Benz and ask them to remove the badge and see if they agree. That was the first thing. The second thing is, if you are going to buy me out, I'll start using industry standard terms. If you're buying a beat and you're getting the license, that's from $300 going up. Once you pay me that, whatever you do with that song, I am not there anymore. But if you're going to pay $25, $30, and you don't then have a split sheet agreement, we might have a problem. Because you're not really buying out. You are buying my services, but you're not buying me out. And buying me out, yeah. If you're going to buy me out, then I'll use the industry standard. Ama beats industry-wise, $300 going up. Yeah.
Let's talk. I know, guys, do you know, it's pointless for me to carry on if these certain things are still not making sense to you. Because this is where the money is, right? This is where our livelihoods are. And if we don't understand these terms, technology and terminologies, and how we're supposed to work, we will forever be stuck. So feel free, free space. Bulawayo Arts Festival is making sure that the artists know. We've got producers here, we've got artists here. Let's help each other. Me, I'm just the go-between holding the microphone. Kupel. But that's what it is. The problem is we're not really doing things according to the way that it's supposed to be done. You cannot expect to pay a certain amount of money and own the song without recognizing the fact that the producers also had a say. The fact that he pressed a key on that. Same thing, Ama Gitari, those guys that did the band, that did the whatever, they should get something out of that as well. Ama royalties, Lawana, people can argue and say it's small, it's whatever, but it's still money owed to you. It's your work. You were learning how to play the guitar for how many years? It's a skill, is it not? Yes. So why shouldn't we pay you for you knowing how to punch those keys? It's your work. Aren't you, they say photographers, when they take a picture, the picture is theirs. Until you pay for it, right? And he can keep his logo there until you decide to. I've got a photographer here in the house for interest's sake.
So, what it's a tricky space. Let's say I prompt Suno for a song. It gives me guitar, it gives me keys, it gives me everything. Then I bring in a set of musicians to say, okay, use your own feel, but play like that. They're not composers, right?
In that case, you are the composer, but he is still the instrumentalist. Yeah, he is the performer. Yes, yes. But originally, whether you took that composition from wherever else, yeah, it comes to you. It's, yeah. Yes, yes. It's like asking me to remake a beat in a way. Yeah, you might say I took that idea from someone, but who made it again? Exactly.
I think that's where a lot of us get misconstrued. Because you came with the idea into the studio, but he's the one who punched the keys and made the melodies. So he shouldn't get anything, because now you can do whatever. But now that your humming and whatever on Suno can be created into something else. Yes. Then there's songwriters that have written the song, but they don't go into the studio to sing it. You get what I mean? They are performers. So the one who wrote the lyrics is the one that gets what? Good songwriter, young one. When you will be credited as what? As a performer for that particular song. You don't own, because you didn't do the creating. We are one creator, creators, that's that word. You wanted to ask something? Or you?
Yeah, I wanted to ask in terms of AI, I heard people talk about this Suno. So let's say I used Suno, right, to make a song. Do I need to credit AI Yonaliana because it's not my original idea, right?
So, yeah, whoa. Those two guys at the back, I don't even know why they're at the back. So, with Suno, it's tricky because on their terms of service, they say if you do not pay their subscription or that full month package of theirs, yenza malini, 30, 60 bucks. If you don't do that, and if you get into a copyright issue, because that AI engine is using other people's songs. So it's not a human. It can take someone else's idea. And then abantu abanjengabo iTunes, they detect what you stole this. When they are coming to sue you, they don't go to Suno. They come to you. Isuna iseko kona.
Unfortunately, I didn't do an AI presentation or anything. But AI, it gets tricky in the sense that AI is not a human, right? AI researches and grabs from what it was given or what it finds on the internet or what it can research according to what has been put out there. So in other words, choncha from somewhere or taking from somewhere or compiling from somewhere. So you compile from where? You see, these are like some talking points that maybe later on we can talk a bit more about. You are... Oh, okay.
Uxolo badala. Befuna ukukhuluma lapha nje kancane lapha nje. Ukuthi ube kukhuluma kakhulu ngesingisi abanye bebengazwisisi ukuthi bathi uhamba njani andithi cha. So into ekhona lapha madoda kahle kahle makukhuluma ngendaba zama spreadsheet. Ngendaba zama spreadsheet wona mawu artist noma mawu producer la kwanisa ukuvumelana phakathi mina ukuhlangana phakathi kuba lula kakhulu ukuthi la kwanisa ukusplit angweni ingoma ukuthi iproducer ithathe so iartist ithathe so lokuzeni konke kunjani kuhambe ngendlela ndithi ka yike into ehambe njani isenzakala la kwanisa ukuvumelana ukuthi hayi wena njenge producer ngicela uthathe 50% wena njenge guitarist uthatha many yakwanisa ukuthi njenge team lisebenze lula makule spreadsheet kuyakwenza ukuthi lawe ukwanisa ukuthola amangcono lula njalo spreadsheet liyenza ukuthi ama royalties akho angalahleki ahlale khona in future ngoba imusic asset into engafiyo phela le into enganjani engapheliyo so imusic yahlala ingenisa ingweni imali ngaso sonke isikhathi so kumele kube kwazi ukuthi uma ungayenza a good song lo muntu oyenzelayo yenza ispreadsheet ukuthi kusasa kungakunjani kungakuhluphi kusasa lingahambisani emagqwetheni ngaphi kunganjani kungakuhluphi njalo futhi into omele uyenze futhi ubekwazi uyenza ingoma ezadlala ngabo DJ lengoma ezadlala kwini i-radio song into ade khuluma lapha ingoma ezadlala emsakazweni into ade khuluma lapho futhi so kuzaba futhi la le i-AI le ade khuluma ngayo la majita sengifuna ukuthi ngisummarize i-AI le ikhipha izinto ezibasic izinto ezikhona kodwa ayikwenzi wena ube creative because afuzanga ukuthi silahle i-creativity yethu yabo ukuba skillful kwethu ngoba sesisebenzisa ungwini umchina i-AI asisabi creative njengakudala sibeni creative guys yabo singaba creative siyakwanisa ukuba njani ukubuilda more music yethu siyanjani siyaphambili so asibeni creative so sama ukuba skillful i-AI simene ngayo kancane le.
All right, I think we can move on. We managed to get some ideas and I think we're answered, huh? All right, cool. At least I just wanted to make sure to Onkumuntu about split sheets and how important they are as well. All right. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is metadata. I don't know if we can close the door for me. If there's someone who can close the door for me, please. All right. So metadata in music terms is the information embedded or included in an audio file that is used to identify, label, and present the content. Right. What is it? So if the song file itself is the data, then this means that the metadata is the track name, artist name, track length, album title, BPM, genre, all that stuff. Metadata is therefore all the information that shows up on devices and music streaming applications, including smartphones, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, what. Right. So when we're talking about metadata, we're talking about the information that usually producers, when they put it in the files from the DAW, it will then pop up when you put it in these, when someone sends the file to someone. Have you seen like when you play YouTube, media player, AMA players and what, it gives you that album information, BPMs and stuff. That information is also, is also very important if you're sending your music to radio, right? Because radio wants to make sure that they know the ISRC code so that you can be tracked properly and paid properly, the name of the song, whether it's in an album, the genre and all that stuff. That stuff has to be in that MP3 file or WAV file that you send in. You have to input that information. So an example would be the name of the artist. I gave a song there, the beat maker. So the more information that you put in that metadata, the better. Because remember, someone else, probably maybe a music supervisor, who wants to put your song on a film, wants to know ukuthi ingoma le ngiyekabani. That information is what they will use to credit you. And this is the reason why a lot of artists can't get into sync because they don't provide all that information. Music agents or sync agents don't have the time to start looking for you. They want someone who's organized, who has all that information in place. So you need to learn and be accustomed. This whole situation of sending music from your WhatsApp to the radio DJ, ipongufika ingama AUD 6954 what, that doesn't work. Email the song properly. And if possible, send it as an attachment so that all that information is there and is kept so that they can use it for all that stuff that they need. So I've talked about year and genre, ISRC code, album. I think you can move on, my brother. All that stuff, right. Yeah, just move on. Just move. I think we can. Yeah. Here. This is what I need. Yeah. Right. So all this information, when you are emailing, right, you need to have that information. All this information on your files, because remember, someone will download your file, your song that you've emailed, and it will be on their desktop or wherever. How are they going to identify it? How are they going to know all that information? Put even your phone number and stuff. You check, so that they can contact you as well. Yeah, so when you put all of these, who's the featured artist, the genre, the label, the publisher, the songwriter, the producer, move on. Asam, producer, executive engineer, what, it's quite a mouthful, but it helps to make sure that that information is there. Right, if you look at mood, how many of us have been uploading music on Spotify? Spotify, have you ever uploaded music on Spotify? Just one. Right. Nowadays, they ask you, Uguti ingoma yako, what type of a mood is it? Is it a happy song? Is it a sad song? Have you seen that? Oh, you upload using Amobo, DistroKid. All right. So when you're now, after you've done the DistroKid stuff, in order for you to get onto Spotify playlists, right, you then go into Spotify, which is Spotify for artists, right? When you're now uploading, your song is already there, but you now want AMA playlist platforms to be able to see your song and be able to then what? Put it in the relevant playlist. Sorry? Yes. That is where they ask all those things. They ask even Uguti, the instruments that were used, because they want to get a picture of all that stuff. Now, if you picture that stuff, you will understand Uguti, music is no longer just a song, J. It's accompanying like a soundtrack. If you look at your music like a soundtrack feature or something, it makes it easy for even someone who wants to place your music into film. They will know, Uti, this is a sad song. This is a love song. This is a happy song. This is a, that way they can playlist your music on more platforms. Remember, sometimes they don't speak your language. Awukhulumi isiNdebele, awukhulumi isiShona, awukhulumi, but they want to put your music because music is a language on its own. So how then do you then explain to these people what sort of mood, when they play your song, are they going to hear? So it's important, even metadata yako, put it. It's a sad song, love song, angry song, whatever. It helps those guys when they are now looking for particular moods, the sync licensing agents, because it's a movie and he wants a song or a sound that will give them a happy mood. Or maybe this person just won the lotto. They want something along those lines. Or maybe this person is sad. They want something along those lines. We're trying to get into that film money, that Netflix money. Don't limit yourself to just your official audience. So this is why these things are important. Then obviously your contact details, pretty much, right? So how you put this music, this information, there's a platform called ID3 tags. You can use that to put this metadata inside. I try to explain if you have, what you call that? Apple, if you have an Apple product, how to put it on iTunes, command what on your PC and stuff. But basically, this is how to put that stuff into the file if that stuff is not there, or if your producer or whoever was using that DWA software did not input that stuff already. So we can skip. So why is it important, right? It has to be searchable. When a sync agent is looking for a particular song, they can easily search and find, happy song, sad song, ndingingoma ka-Larynx, ndingingoma ka-Lokuzen, ndingingoma, I need that album, I need this, I need music from 1950. If you put a release date on your thing, it will capture that 1950 song. You get what I mean? You've got more ways in which people can, all these things, they are needed. They are needed. And also, there are platforms like Radio Monitor, right? A lot of people always ask, okay, so if I get my music onto radio, right, how do I get paid? Obviously, you've got your PRO, Performance Rights Organization. We all know Zimra collects on your behalf, or you are using SAMRO or whatnot, right? How do you then prove how many times your song was played? Say maybe Zimra said it was played 10 times, but you know for sure that my song was top on the charts. There are certain platforms that you can actually get on, subscribe to, and they can track your song using ISRC code. One of the platforms is called Radio Monitor from South Africa. If you're lucky enough to go on the internet, Google Radio Monitor. So what happens with Radio Monitor is, as long as you've given them the song and the information, the metadata, all this stuff, these guys can then come and then what? Track your song and tell you where it's being played. If Skies Metro is playing your song, they will show you. If ZFM is playing your song, they will show you. The platform is called Radio Monitor. Obviously, they charge a little something for that service. So I know of cases where an artist from South Africa was saying, no, man, my song was top on the charts. I'm registered with SAMRO, and SAMRO is telling me I only got played 17 times. Yet I know for sure I got played more than 20 times, more than 30 times, 500 times. So he then went on to a Radio Monitor on his platform. It showed when and what time which radio stations was played. He used that information to go to SAMRO and get played. So these are some of the platforms and places where we need to go to make sure we can prove. How do you prove? Because it's not always every day that you're actually going to sit down and say, Skies Metro played me. ZFM has played me. YFM has played me. Yeah, FM has played me. And do that for how long? You check. So as long as you have an ISRC code and you've registered, this is how your music can get tracked using metadata that you put in your files. This business of sending songs via WhatsApp, if you what, and it's not tagged and labeled, please email, find out from the radio station, do you email, do you use their platform or whatever, but make sure your file wena ngokwakho has already got that information. All right. I think we're done here. Can you just move up? Let me see if there's any more information to put up. It's just the recap, BPMs and all that stuff. All right. I don't know if there's anyone who's got questions about metadata information. Yeah.
All right, I have a question. So let's say in a scenario where, I wouldn't say working with an artist, let's say a client comes through. Who is in charge of putting that metadata? Is it me or it's them?
Today we're working with best practices, and we're working with best practices. Remember, you want to maintain a certain clientele. You want these people to keep coming back to you, to trust you, and know that you will do the best that you can, not just for yourself, but for them as well. So if I were you, I would ask them for that information. Guys, this is your song. What do you want me to input here? What do I put? What's the album name? Who's the feature? Give me proper spellings of your names. You get what I mean? Like, fine, they can't penalize you. But it's one thing, it gives more value to you to say, if I go to Larynx and he does things for me, he's going to give me industry standard things. Even things that I don't know of, and I will only appreciate 20 years later. This guy was already doing for me. So wouldn't that also, look good for you? I'm just saying.
Maybe just to add on, because you've got a lot of musicians coming in, probably weekly or daily. So if that's part of your contract, because it's information that you know you're going to use for every recording, so it should be part of your contract where at the end, before they sign, they filled in everything that you know is needed for the metadata file.
Yeah. Maybe that could be something that you could use. Because remember, we're trying to build artists and producers that are global superstars or global, It would help. Someone probably is waiting. Maybe you're dealing now with a guy from America. They're waiting for you to ask them. Maybe they are, but I'm just saying, best practices, bruh. You just try and put yourself in the money.
So, like in SA, we've got the ERISA. It's the one which is doing a ERISA code. So, which company does that?
Lapha ekhaya kule iplatform okuthiwa yiZimura. iZimura yiyo iZimbabwe Music Rights Association. It does ISRC code generation. I hope they still do it. I am not sure if they still do it, but when we started Gudala, they used to give you ISRC code has got the first letters for the country, then the first amanyama letters and whatever. Then when we're putting on our CD, you would then have like a chronological catalog number, which lay Sungu 6, Sungu 7. Next year, you change 25 to 2026, right? But me now with my artists, what we are using is RISA. I use RISA. My artists are on Sambro, right? So what happens is you go to RISA, you pay the ISRC generation Yonalean, because most of the music that we send to also, we send to a lot of South African stations as well. So when they see that country code thing, they ultimately just think, it's a South African artist, and then we get airplay. I've had my artists get played on YFM and stuff because of that. And also because I know how to upload stuff on SABC platform. SABC has got a portal as well that you actually go to and you can upload your music on there, So that's one. In Zimbabwe, we've got Zimura and we've got Zico. I'll be lying to you if I said, yeah, I know how those guys operate, but Mina, we use RISA.
There's a code that DistroKid generates. So you need a different one from that, or you can use that. Yeah, okay. But so the DistroKid one does not have like country detail, does it?
It's got, what happens is those guys paid for their own. Those guys paid, you can pay to generate your own as a record label. Yes. So that's what those guys use.
All right. Then to add on to what he said, I once spoke to Luminous. You guys know Luminous, right? He spoke about that. He was like, the danger of letting DistroKid generate for you is higher than you just paying to have your own generated. Because to some extent, they may own that code in a way if you let them generate it for you without you uploading your music via RISA. I don't know if that makes sense.
As an artist manager, personally, we don't use DistroKid generated codes anymore. We pay for the $45 package because it allows you to input your ISRC code in there. Right? I'm just one of those skeptics. I like to own my stuff. I want my artists to own and know the platforms where they're getting this stuff from. So we generate our own platform, ISRC codes using RISA. RISA is quite cheap. It's like 100 rands or something like that. It's very cheap. Yeah. Yes, at first it was free. So, and then I know in America you can pay about $100 to start generating your own ISRC codes as well, or something like that. But Tina, like here, we don't want to lie to each other. We want to use best practices and want to talk about things that we are doing, things that can get you forward. RISA is not hard to do. You can easily get an FNB, whatever, EFT, upatale, ufake ibizo lakho, everything is done.
I tried actually open. It requires you to have a passport because they need your passport number. If you don't have that, you can't pass the first stage. For guys who don't know.
Oh, thank you very much for that information. Yes, you need a passport to do that, then it becomes easier.
So with RISA, you register as an individual. So even if there are several people on a song, each individual, no, RISA is one person who owns the song. Then you register for.
From what I've understood in terms of research, RISA is like your ID number of your track. If someone else posts your track on their social media thinking they are just posting, you can actually get money because RISA would have detected whose track that is. You see now. So that's the advantage of actually signing most of these tracks and things via RISA.
I'm enjoying the fact that we are looking at the challenges and we're tackling them here. Yeah, no hearsay, everyone is contributing and we're all learning. Right. I don't know if there's anything else that we need to talk about in terms of that. Are we clear? Thank you very much for the question. I'm sure a lot of people didn't even know how to get onto RISA. Now they know you need a passport and it's possible, you know. Some of these things, because sometimes we end up just watching other people do things and you wonder how. This is what this workshop is about. Let's help each other. We're all Bulawayo artists, we're all producers, we're all trying to get to the same place, right? So today, won't company secrets are all right, so the next very important thing that I want us to talk about is called a DJ pack, right? So I'm going to read to make sure I don't miss out any other information. Right, a DJ service pack is also known as a DJ pack, is a ready-to-go one-stop shop of everything a DJ needs to put your song into their mix and possibly on the radio. A DJ pack is a collection of tracks, versions of that track for a specific single or release. Right, so each song, every time you release a song, best practice, let's have a DJ pack for it, right? So what is a DJ pack? A DJ pack includes, but not limited to, I just put the most important ones. You can put as many type of versions of whatever, you know what I mean, right? You can have an instrumental, right? This is just the beat, no vocals. That's one file, right? One file, start to finish, one file, just the instrumental. Start to finish, a cappella, just the vocals. Clean version, which is what we call the radio edit. Clean version. This can be with clean lyrics. You are removing the curse words, especially Tinabe hip hop and stuff like that. Right. Yes. Please, sir, thank you very much for joining us. This is yours, this one. This one is yours. I'm going to ask you to at least add on after I'm finished. All right. And then I'm a clean lyrics, or those that have got long songs. Kudala way to Sungura songs will be 8 minutes and whatever, and radio wants only to play 3 minutes or 3 minutes 30, sometimes 2 minutes 30. He's going to specify, right? But you want to make sure that your song is short enough for radio to play. You have a version for radio. Kuqakathekile. I-version lay can be different from the EP version. Can be different from the dirty version. Can be you're supposed to have that version for radio, specifically for radio play. Right? The next version we have is the dirty version. If you want your song to be played in the club has got people that are very happy, intoxicated, they don't care about language. If anything, that language adds on to their enjoyment. So you want to have that version. Sometimes, especially in hip hop, it's the original version that you probably did your song in. All right? Then you want to have a dirty version. Okay, so there's a dirty version intro, and then there's a clean version, then there's a radio version intro. I will explain those intros, what we mean by that. Most of the times, when a DJ is playing in the clubs, they are mixing from one song to the next, right? So there has to be a space in between or at the end of the song that allows them to get into the next song. And some songs, maybe your song, starts right from the start and you're already in the verse. So it does not give the DJ enough time to get into your song. So what happens is you make what we call extended mixes, right? It's an extended version. So they take 8 bars, right, of the instrumental, beyifake ekuqaliseni at the beginning. So there's like an 8 bar in just the instrumental, and then the song gets into your actual song. It allows for the DJs to play. This is why a lot of people's music is not played in the clubs. It's because you don't give them the proper version or versions for them to use. Sometimes a DJ is flamboyant. He wants to do a mashup. If you give him the beat, you give him the vocals, he can put you on a Chris Brown song. You give him a beat, give him a vocal, he can put you on an Amapiano song. That's his flair, that's what he wants to do. So if you allow him to do that, then it means he's going to play your songs more. You get what I mean? So a DJ pack is very important in the sense that it allows the DJs to play you on radio and also play you in the clubs. Sometimes you're lucky to find that the DJ who's playing you on radio is the same DJ that will play you in the clubs. Yeah, well, so already ama versions becomes easier. Another cheat code I've seen some artists now do You know, Spotify allows you to have different versions of a song. You can go back to RISA, file when your ISRC code for that version that you have, be it a clean version, a radio version, or your dirty version, or whatever. And is it explicit, is it not explicit? It's more money for you. Because the advantage is the more versions that you have, the more platforms your song can be played at. Same time, when the synchronization people now want to use your song or songs, if you have a DJ pack, it allows them to take the beat. Maybe they just want the beat, they don't want your vocals. Right? They can then play around with that. And also, like we will talk, I think after this, we'll talk about the master recording. Why you need those Fruity Loop files and whatnot is because when Netflix now wants to use your song on that video or movie or whatever, they might want to dumb down your lyrics. Or there's a particular instrument that the producer used that the engineer or film wants to use in the film. Now, how is he going to manipulate that particular sound if now all you're giving him is just an MP3 file? They need that master recording as well to play that particular sound in by Ngizelele or whatever. You get what I mean? So this is why, for me, this is very important. And this stops us from making money. If you don't have these files and you don't understand what this is, you can't get played in radio, you can't get played in the clubs, you can't get sync deals, you already, but you are right in the studio. You went and you did a song. So by the time uphuma lapana vele usudliwe uthi isidliwe kudala because awula konke lokho. You get what I mean? So if you'll allow me, I don't know, my brother, if you can just add one or two things that probably I might have just, and you can just introduce yourself, Ubaye to Selembicha.
Good morning, Salwanani. Okay, thank you so much, brother, for giving me this platform. I think I'll speak of what you did mention as the radio mix and, yeah, what we expect on radio. A radio version, if it's a dance music, we're looking at about 3 minutes to 3 minutes 35. That's your radio version. So if you send anything above 4 minutes, even the music committee looks at it like, no, he doesn't know what he wants. We don't even listen to your music. Just put it on the side because we have a standard that we have to maintain. So I think it's one of the things that you send your music to our stations, you don't hear the music. You're like, but it's ZFM, they don't play our music. At Skies, they don't play your music. It's because we have a standard that we have to maintain. So he spoke of the 4 bars, the 8 bars. I guess we now understand what he's talking about. But I think also, brother, allow me to speak on the quality that we produce in local. We still have a huge mountain to climb. So I think on your next phase, I heard you speaking about mastering. I think that's what we need. But before we get our stuff mastered, we need to know how to mix our songs. You can have a good song, but if it's not balanced proper, then you can send it to any mastering engineer. But I'll speak of one artist, a prominent one from Bulawayo. He sent his song to the station. I told him that your song has noise between 300 heads up to about 500. Just clean it up. Oh, he's from Bulawayo. Banjalo. Yes. No. So when you speak to someone, just clean up your mix, clean up your low end. You need to understand what is someone's talking about. If you have your kick dominating on the 90 hertz, you now need to know how to create space for your bass line. Is it on the 130? Is it on the 140? What's more dominant? What do you want us to hear? The secret of Mapiano. So many artists from Bulawayo jump onto the Mapiano version, but we haven't grasped the formula of making amapiano, like how they do it. You need to understand why Kabza doesn't have a low-end kick on his amapiano. Then you start from there. Then you're saying, I'm doing amapiano. Because for me, if you're saying you're doing amapiano, I'm saying, what can make Kabza listen to your music? Because he's the king of amapiano. So when we want to copy from wherever we're copying from, we need to understand what we are copying, then we own it, like how they do it in South Africa. They imitate sounds from wherever they take them, but they commercialize it. They own that production at the end of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, man. Hey, I'm honored to have my brother DJ Cooperman in the building, man. It means so much to me, man. You guys have got no idea. He's one of the people that I looked up to, and I hope I'm going to be a good DJ, Lami, one day. Yeah, man. But yeah, exactly like what he said. You know, some of these things we often forego when we're making our tracks. But already, if your song is 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and you're doing EDM already, whatever he said, just make sure you're within. Yeah, well, then if you can't, do a radio version that you will send to radio. That's where I'm saying. Oh, sorry.
Please allow me, sorry. I think it's only fair for me to answer him. That song, it's from Cooksman. It's called Vulelani Sangoma. Go and listen to that song. If you are a producer or if you are an artist, you have a background noise on the vocals, a combi going through. So it's a hit song. But when you tell someone that, please, can you fix ABC? You know what? I had nothing against the song, but it is what it is on the song. So you can actually reference on the song, listen to it, pick up a few things that you can actually improve as an artist. When you're capturing your vocals, make sure you try and clean them up. Thank you.
All right, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. Any more questions? Any more additions? Anyone wants to say something? Yeah.
Uqolo badala ukuthi abanye abazosisa ukuthi why ingoma kumele ibe mfitshane kumele ibe 3 minutes or 35 seconds abazosisa ukuthi indaba ingoma ziningi phela amadoda labona ama artists emaningi so besenzela ukuthi ekuthi akuchaye aphinde njani akuphinde njalo so lami ngithi ngezelele khona lapho ukuthi indaba because abanye bathanda ukwenza ingoma ezinde so kasithi benza for ama radio versions ibe mfitshane se summarize kube njalo clean.
Clean, siyabonga.
All right, so Mina, if I may extend on what my DJ brother said, with what I've seen, I'm a music producer, by the way. What I've seen with most music producers doing is, first of all, you go and buy a $50 condenser microphone. If you are gonna record a song from something that has bad audio intake, and yet in room yako, you did not treat it in a way whereby echo is a bit suppressed, room treatment. So now you have a combination of a bad microphone, you have a combination of your room. Also, uhlala emakas, there's combis passing by main road. What do you expect in that scenario? I can give you a scenario with camera guys. I've seen guys who bring cameras, so every standard lens, not even a prime. No low lights, no nothing, and they are just shooting. And you expect to have a picture that is good as my brother here. Mbonebambi camera, some dangerous camera is using there. And you already see the information he uses from that camera before he even processes applies with audio. I'm a microphones. I've always told guys, if you're gonna record a song, the microphone ain't go AliExpress, it costs $12. You are not serious with your life. Yeah. Because now then what happens is if you're gonna send a song like that to him, he's gonna assume all of us have that same microphone. Some of us invest in equipment because we know what happens if you invest in equipment. But if you're going to buy a microphone from AliExpress, it ends at $12, a condenser, but it uses a jack. We know it's not even a condenser. Then what do you expect with your song? They want to play our music. This and that. These guys have studio monitors too in their studios. They can hear exactly what's going on. And their studios are more treated than our studio. So his sound is slightly more accurate than ours. Just my 2 cents.
Can you give him some water? Do you have water? Yeah, please can you give him some water? Very important member of society, Lapo. I can't. Please, yes. Yeah. No, now I'm happy. No, thanks a lot for the contributions, guys. I think at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is to just come up with best practices and understand why certain things are the way they are and how we can get into the system and really add a lot of, value to the station as well. When you bring in a good song and the station is playing it, labo, they look good. If you come out with music that's not good, I mean, it doesn't reflect well on everyone, even the whole city at large. We want to come out with the best things. And we also want to be exportable, want to be global as well. So this is what this whole platform is about. I think apart from it just being, it's a workshop because we want to be able to talk, want to be able to correct each other. It's more than just me presenting, coming up with colorful slides and whatnot. That's why I literally took from my book that I wrote and be like, no, I want to share these because these were important to me. And I feel like if we really double down on some of these things and understand them, we can really go somewhere very far with it. All right. My DJ Ngale, can we continue? All right. So where to keep these files? So I think nowadays you want to have your music, files and everything, easy access. Kulama Google Drives, ama Dropbox, ama whatever. The reason is wherever you are at, you just need the internet and you have easy access to that. You never know where you are. Right now, there's DJ Cooperman here. He's from Skies Metro. There's my brother Takunda. He's also from Skies Metro. I mean, next thing, hey, music yakho ngifuna ukuzwa wena, ufuna ukukhipha ifoni or whatever. No, you can get their details. Send them the link to your music or to your DJ pack. Make sure that the music is properly labeled and everything is spick and span. I'll give my mic to Mr. Takunda also to talk about a couple of things after I just round up. Yeah, and then we can hear from the horse's mouth as well because he deals with artists every day. Right, so why is a DJ pack important? Yeah. No, it's correct. You are part of the presentation.
Also, I think I saw you did mention Dropbox, and we've actually seen artists sending music through links. We don't want links. We don't have time to be looking for your link to try and listen to your song. Like I think the brother mentioned there, we have plenty of songs that we receive every day. So don't send a link to a radio station. Send your music to the station. Don't send a link. Because imagine trying to download Dropbox or Google Box. We don't have the time. He's been there. He knows. Yes. Thank you.
All right. I'll give Takunda to also touch on the same point and maybe other things that we might have missed.
Good morning, guys. I think on the part of from a radio side, one of the things that I have noted, especially with our artists, especially the upcoming ones, even veteran ones as well, where we are getting songs engekho properly labeled. Ukuthi ingoma le ngiyakakhula kwashe i-title i-metadata kupho ngubuya abanye bathumela from WhatsApp kumbe babethunyelwe ku WhatsApp, they just forward to the email akula EPK asikwazi ukuthi kahle kahle ungubani. So those are some of the challenges radio stations are facing, as well as a challenge whereby artists believe knowing a DJ will solve their issues. And then you are sending your song straight to the DJ. And at times you are sending to the DJ who is not, maybe doesn't play the type of songs that you actually sing. So first discover you're a hip-hop artist, and then you are sending to a DJ who does mostly maybe Maskandi, Imbube, Mbakanga, also city Nteli airplay, definitely you won't get anything. So you then have artists coming in and saying, we are sending our songs, but we are not getting airplay. So, but we are sending it to the wrong person. Most of these stations have a music committee or a compiler or a librarian of some sort who then listens to the songs and then playlists accordingly. Ukuthi ingoma le yangaphi njani. So those are some of the challenges that I've seen continue to happen with most of our artists. Abanye ngeke uthola isikhathi sokuba reply ukuthi ayichomlami lapha uthumela into ezingayisizo ngoba abanye labo uyabubahlonipha ucabanga ukuthi they know, but there are a lot of things that we need to sort out when it comes to even branding the songs that we are sending to radio stations. We are just doing things, so I hope those things will be unpacked and is kwanise to do the right thing. And also I have seen amanye email athunyelwa one email copies all radio stations or all journalists gawan. Awukho specific. Kumnandi la uthi good morning Skies Metro FM. Here's my song. You list whatever you want from Skies Metro. You do another one for Kulumani, for Star FM. Manje ungahle ukhopha abantu ka1. Abanye baye befuna uku-reply on that same email. Ukuthi your song is rubbish, but abanye baye befisa ukuyiplaya. So now it becomes difficult because everyone is copied in that email and abanye ngeke bekwanisa ukuphendula. So there are a whole lot of things that we need to take care of.
This is why we need a full workshop. You see what I was saying, my brother? We need a full workshop where we can really talk.
I'm a for ama radio and so umuntu nxa ethumela uthumela audio music wakhe uzufika kahle be receive kumele ethumele nga
When ufuna ukuthumela ngaphi exactly ku Skies Metro? Oh, I thought there was a specific.
Mine is not a question. I don't know where you put it, but I wish radio station had an online portal that if maybe certain information is missing, the song doesn't upload. You know, like then you don't get all this. It was missing the title track. It was missing. Was everything is automated. Even in terms of some quality checks can be done automatically. You can't click upload. And again, it also, I think, maybe it also reduces those payola issues again, because what you can't say my song was not loaded or anything like that.
All right. No, that's a valid point. So, I do a lot of PR work for artists all over the world. Like I've done stuff for people in Dubai, States, Kenya, and stuff. And I've come across a wide variety of submission information, right? So the most important thing that you need to understand is you need to know where you are sending your song, right? If it is to Skies Metro, go to the Skies Metro page, go to their station, reception, or whatever. Find out how do they receive submissions. Do they take online submissions? Do they want a CD? Do they want, what is it that they want? Like he alluded to the fact that they don't want links. They want you to attach the song on the email, greet them like what he said, good morning, Star FM, good morning, Skies Metro, how are you? I mean, it's only courteous, it's kind as well. You know, and you're also showing them that you're also taking them serious. Akula muntu ofuna ukukopwa ku-love letter. Like I'm sending this message to 20 other niggas. I mean, we know you're going to send it to other stations, but don't put it so blatant, because then you're minimizing communication as well, even if I want to do that. So there is a way in which, that's the first thing. And if you can, listen to the radio stations. Just do some background. Listen to the producers when they are talking. I mean, the presenters. Each show has got like a producer, right? And our producers, Ankona, 9 times out of 10, especially if it's a specialist show, for example, if it's a hip-hop show, you know if the presenter is the producer, then he's probably the person who's going to receive the music. I mean, do some research now. Katesu Kuska is Metro. If you are a hip-hop artist, do you know who does the hip-hop show? Each station has got a sound as well, which is what he was alluding to. Certain songs won't play on certain platforms as well, right? So you need to make sure you're understanding, when you're emailing to that particular station, what do they want you to include? He alluded to an EPK. And then there are certain platforms that do not want you to attach a file, a song, right? When I was sending stuff to BBC, it was, I think it was BBC One. Yeah, it was BBC One to get airplay there. As soon as your song, or I mean, as soon as your email is slightly over, is it 1 meg or 2 or something, it gets bounced. They do not want you to send, because Gibo, it will end up looking like it's spam. So you need to send a link. And they say they want a link. They want a DJ pack link. So you then upload your things on Google Drive, right? You upload your things on Google Drive, and then you put artwork yako, you put the EPK, you put, the ISRC code, everything in there. And also, this is not, I'm not saying this is the standard for BBC. It was the standard for that particular show I was trying to get into. You check out. BBC also has a platform called BBC Introducing. It's a portal, exactly like what my brother was saying here. A portal lay, the minute you are trying to put your phone number from Zimbabwe, it refuses. You need to have a what? A UK number. You get what I mean? So you can't do it from, you have to find gonkele address, bafuna gonkele address yangkhona. You check. And also after that, it's best practices. Fine, your music has gone to the library or whoever is receiving it. Do you have a way of talking to the compiler to let them know, Zwana Ndut, I've sent my song. So what I do as a PR when I'm sending to all of this, I find out who the compiler is, find out who's the librarian, find out if I can find them on Instagram, I'll hit them up. I've sent, hi, what, I like, start by complimenting, like what he said, greet them, compliment, hi, hey, I listened to your show, I like this song, whatever, show proof that you are listening. I mean, nowadays there's apps online, you can listen to virtually any radio station that you want to listen to, come on. Put the effort now, right? Then when you're on there, and then you then say, listen, I sent my song, whatever. I think it's perfect for this particular show, or your show, or whatever. Please have a look, have a listen, check out your email. That's it. Sometimes it sounds cryptic, it sounds a lot of work, but that's how we get these airplays. Then there are obviously AMA platforms, like the SABC one that I said has got a platform, a portal, civilly you go and you upload the name, the surname, the feature, the genre. You even choose the station that you want to put your song in. You get what I mean? So each station is different, right? Do the research. Don't CC everyone. I'm not going to say there isn't a cheat code of how to do it so that you don't, but when you don't personalize your email, you take something away from it as well. Because then now you're not showing Uguti, you actually listen to the show or you like the show. Or remember, you're trying to impress someone that you want Uguti Gunigi airplay. So you want to show Uguti Lawe, you know something and you know who you're talking to. It helps. You know, it doesn't help for you to be in the music industry and you're a loner and you're not trying to be sociable and trying to get these people who are in these places of influence to help you get that airplay, you see. So the minute you understand these things, how to use them, where to upload, how to push, it becomes easier. Way easier. There's also other platforms that will say, you can even ask, that have got automatic responses, right? Say you've emailed, like what he was asking, Gutube was, Guti, if they responded, you get an automatic response. And that automatic response actually gives you information of the compiler. Tina, this is the person that does the compilation, whatever. I mean, if you're smart, if you're clever or whatever. I don't know whether if you go into their DMs, you're now going to have some arrangement or whatever. I don't know. But all I'm saying is it's pointless for you to send something to the library if you are not going to find someone who's going to look for that music in the library. Sometimes it becomes hard. But also as an artist, what are you doing to get noticed? Are you creating buzz about your song? So that utakundwa uza kudinga sibility, phela ulokuzeni uFuel has just released the latest song, what, where can I find it? Do we have it in our library? Because instead of sending it to just that one person, he might not be putting it in the library that everyone has got access to. Here we're trying to get it played by everyone and not just one person. Yeah, one. So try to really understand who you are sending to. I think that's the most important thing. And also, what are the requirements? Requirements now, you can even find them. I think on platforms like Instagram, by a post, a flyer. You can even go, how many times have you gone to a radio station to ask? A reception, guys, I've got music, how do I send it to you? What do you lose? You are in that business. So why not? Yeah, one. So please, try and figure out and really learn. It's the same thing even with video as well. Video, even to ZBC or to 3K TV, ZTN, Channel O, what's the other one? MTV, Trace, they all have different. And now that, Channel O has been acquired, the whole DSTV got acquired by Canal. So obviously, Sogulamanya new submission details of how to get onto those. There's forms that you need to fill in, especially for video. There's forms. Fill in, put on my ISRC code. Even a video needs an ISRC code as well. I know obviously we're now going the other side of the DJ pack, but I felt like people really wanted to understand how to submit your music to radio. I think we'll try and come up with a whole workshop on just that and really go deep down and really talk about these things, because it would really make so much sense rather than me talking and we're not getting any information. Yes.
Thank you. Please forgive us for taking you back. Maybe because I myself, I came a bit late. I think the brother sitting next to me, he spoke of something very important also. I don't know if you spoke of an artist, about branding of an artist, of a musician. And I don't know if you have actually touched that. A manager. A manager for an artist like yourself. You are a manager of so many artists, but you are not sharing the information with us. I feel you're unfair. Because I think to my fellow brothers here, I think I would like to encourage you, because this is how I used to do it, I myself. For every artist that comes to Bulawayo, for me, it's not all about attending the show, but it's about what do I learn from that event. So it could be stage management, branding, who talks to the media on their behalf, how do I interact with the people that love my music. I think maybe a few of us have managers here. You have someone who runs your social media page, because it should not be you. It has to be someone else who understands the business side of music. We now have AI coming in. Whether we like it or not, it is the future. how are we making money from that AI? How do we classify ourselves as an artist? How do we make use of AI? Because it's like virus, it's here and it's not going anywhere. Whether you want to make 40 songs within a day, it's up to you, but how do you make money from that? Thank you.
Please make it quick so I can finish up.
So I'm not really going to answer what he was saying, but I think my biggest worry right now is, as I am looking at this room, I'm an artist at Amaningi, they are not even here. So in terms of learning, that code of conduct on its own, before we even speak of attending shows, is not going to change for the next 10 years, because Abantu, they do not like research in Bulawayo. I've met artists who all they want to do is to just record. I'm like, dude, have you ever sat down after you record and you research on what you do with your music after recording? Because now I now know recording is 10%, if not 5%. The 95% is what you do with your song. After that, the ICR codes, attending shows, just to picture what's going on, seeing the presentation, this and that. But as I am looking in this room, yeah, almost 90% of people that I share the same level of the music industry are not even in here. Which is a concerning thing, by the way.
So in the interest of time, you'll allow me to just finish up with this particular presentation that we're doing so that we can try and look at our time and see if we can korokoza the rest of what we can still talk about, because I can see there's some burning issues. But yeah, let's get to it. All right, so basically DJ Pack, the roundup, is a one-stop shop of everything a DJ needs. This is a radio DJ as well as a club DJ, right? We're trying to get into the clubs, we're trying to get onto radio, right? And we spoke about 6 versions: instrumental, a cappella, radio clean, DJ, the dirty version, original version, all those things, right? And then we also can speak about something called a DJ pool. I think maybe I can mention that one. Right. So another way of getting your music played, especially by DJs, and being found by prominent DJs, is to subscribe or email what we call DJ pools. So our DJ pools have got like email blasts where they send out to all the media people. Mina, because I've been in media for more than 20 years, I actually receive music Casper on your vest before you guys get it. Because we play music on radio. And I'm signed up to AMA pools on Allow. There was one pool called Northside DJ Pools that I was on. I'll get all the latest. I was shocked the time I got Natty O's song some time back. It had all, and all these things will be there. A cappella, instrumental, extended version, everything. All the metadata will be in order, the publishing, ISRC, whatever, and this is a week before the song officially comes out. Yeah, one. So when I, as an artist in Bulawayo, if you want to be on those DJ blasts and get your song out there to a lot of industry people that play on radio, play in the clubs and whatever, find these DJ pools and submit your song. And then they will what? They will share it with DJs in Nigeria, in Ghana, because what, instead, it's now working the other way. Remember, Lapana, we were talking about you sending your song to radio. Now you can send your song to a DJ pool, and a DJ pool will then send to all the DJs that it knows across the world. How big is that for you? Yeah, well, next thing you see, Night Freak is playing your song. You see, where would he have found it? If you don't send Night Freak your DJ pack and whatever, they can't even remix it for you. They can't even put it on their playlists. They can't manipulate it for your advantage. Because remember, you're registered, isn't it? So as much airplay and whatever you get, ama royalties, lawana, azangenes kwamen. You see? So you need to get your song out there. So this is another place that you really need to look out for, ama DJ pools. Right. Yeah, we can go up, and then we We get to the performance track now, right? Performances. You don't leave you don't leave the studio without a performance-ready version of your song, right? What we mean by that is, depending on whether you are a live musician or you are a studio person or how you want to manipulate your song at certain venues. Sometimes there's a playback. Sometimes there's ways in which they can add on other instruments, right, to your performance. So you want to make sure ukuthi you've got a performance version that sometimes iyabe ilama ad-libs maybe, if that's what you want, or you just have a clean verse. It's just the instrumental with a clean verse. If you have certain sounds or signals or whatever that you want in there, they are there. If you want your chorus there, bayifaka chorus yakho. Or I've seen some people re-record just to have a performance track done in a way ukuthi nxa sebeperforma. Because remember, when you're recording that song, you're not in the same performance energy. Now the performance is so different. Because remember, you have to catching your breath, there's certain words you want to, and you also want to crowd reaction. Hey, you can put those things there and have more emphasis. This is why certain people work with certain sound engineers. Guys that are serious, kakambi kuma performance engela sound engineer. Because that sound engineer will have the files, will have the whatevers, and have your song, and they can manipulate certain sounds, certain things, and it's just amazing. It's just an amazing experience when you get there. I'm into hip hop, so obviously I've seen a lot of people that perform hip hop. Abanengi bangikhona, they want to perform on top of their lyrics. So what experience are you giving me that I don't already know from the songs that you're already giving me? Do you think I'll come back? Because you're now lip singing. You are now literally not giving me my money's worth because I paid. So what experience are we selling? So our shows end up not being worthwhile because we're not doing the extra work to make it an experience. Some people go out of their way to even remix a song live on stage. Ingoma leyo yona leyana elia sound that these Indians love already. You get what I mean? So that experience was, I've never heard him rap using maybe big pimping lyrics of one song to a different Indian style flute bass line, which was like, wow. But I can still sing along because I know the lyrics to Big Pimpin', but it's now a different experience already. It's like, already. So what are we doing if we're not giving people an experience? Because remember, they have your song already. So those are some of the things. So basically, this is what the performance track is about. You want to make sure that it is mixed properly. You want to make sure your ad-libs are there. You have different versions of it that you can use in different spaces. Right. Oh, let's see. All right, let's move. Let's move. Yeah, me and my Google Drive, we are good. I'll be honest to you, sometimes you'll have someone asking to do an interview and you are nowhere close to where your files are on your laptop for the latest pictures or whatever. But if you keep them on your Google Drive, just give them the link. Nankama pictures on. That's my latest music. That's my latest EPK. And I would encourage people to update your EPK every month. Why I'm saying that is because, one, you want to challenge yourself every month. There is something that you've done. You can't tell me you are using the same EPK that you've been using for the past 3 years. So in 3 years, you haven't done any new shows, you haven't done any new releases, you haven't done any, there's no upgrade, there's nothing. It's the same performances nje kuphela. Hanjula lapha sidinga imali sifuna umphanda. We want to give ourselves the best. Yes. So you're telling me the same EPK that you've got from 10 years ago is the one that you're using now. How does that help? Yabo? So I would encourage, if you can, please. And also it helps, especially if someone is going to write about you, say maybe in the newspapers or in a blog or any of that sort. They've got latest information. I'm not going to say writers are lazy or whatever, they'll copy paste. No, you are giving them enough research. You want to make his job easier. And you want also for them to have the right information. We're always crying, Guti, hey, he spelled my name wrong. Hey, he's talking about the wrong single. I'm releasing this one. But did you actually give them a press release with that information? Did you give them an EPK with that information? Yeah, well, so it becomes easy if you have a press release that will actually say, Naboth Rizla is releasing his second single from this highly anticipated album, name called Paper Chasing. He worked with Larynx on production. He worked with all that information. God forbid, but if it works in your favor, it does. They can never make a mistake. They can never make a mistake. Till now, we go to the extent of even giving them a Word document. I've seen a lot of colorful, I've got nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with doing a colorful press release where you have your graphics, pictures, and all of that stuff and whatever. But sometimes the journalist wants the information, right? They want the specifics, right? And if they can copy and paste it there and make sure that they are not going to make a mistake, wouldn't that be wonderful for you when you're now reading it? Obviously, they will correct the grammar, correct the whatever, but you're giving them the rightful information that they need. They are not you. They don't know about your album. They don't know about your song. They are listening to it and they are hearing it and they are seeing it for the first time. If you are going to give them pictures, there are photographers here. Make sure it's high quality. Not for them to take a picture from the press release. No, you give them a link with your picture. Portrait size landscape. Give them at least 2 of each. So that if they find space where they can put a portrait size, begufite in, make it easy for the editor. Efake ku portrait size. Efake ku landscape. Ebe lama options like. You get what I mean? It's these small things that really make people, when you email them, respond to you faster. Because uyabekwazi ukuthi no uRizla engangi-emailela for i-artist yakhe, ngiyakwazi ukuthi everything is there. You get what I mean? So are you giving those people all the information that they need so that they can help you? They're helping you. And another thing that you can do when you're sending your music, especially to radio, ask for an interview. Ask for an interview. Like there's no one who can promote your music better than you. No one. When you know what you were feeling. You know what you're trying to get your point across. Like I always tell people, you are the Coca-Cola. You are the Coca, you are the business, young Kwan. So if you don't treat yourself as the actual product and go out of your way to then present that actual product in a light, some people will never get to know about you. Yeah, well, it's not just a submission, post and ghost, or just send and just keep quiet. No. Ask for an interview. Guys, when can I come in to talk about my single? When can I come in to talk about how the process and stuff like that? Right? So those are some of the things that you really need to find out and figure out how you can do that. I think we can go. It's good to say, the books are here. The books are here. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Thanks a lot. All right. We're about to round up performance. Yeah, I think we've done this. We can just go to the next one. It's good to say, at least to say is Kulumi about. Oh yeah, master recordings. Who owns the master? I think part of this was, we spoke about this when we're talking about Ama split sheets. Lapanan. Ama master recordings, who owns? The owner of the master rights is usually whoever finances, who owns the master recording in the studio and stuff. Right, so a master recording is the original recording of a song. By definition, that makes it the most authentic, superior sonic account of the song. Right, who owns the master recording of a song? The owner of the master rights is usually whoever finances the recording. Remember, we spoke about people paying up other people out of percentages and whatever. So who financed that? Are you paying for everyone's IP, intellectual property? That's what we're talking about here. So typically, this is the record label, unless obviously you're dealing with an unsigned artist, and in this case, the artist owns the master rights. Provided, obviously, like what we were talking about, in the sense that when you went into the studio, did you book to record? Did you pay extra to own the composition, the beat, the whatever? What is that arrangement like? All right. We can go up. So pretty much that's what that's about. We touched more. I think we spent quite a lot of time in Kulumangako about when we're talking about AMA split sheets. All right. Yeah, I think we're done for the first book. Right. I don't know if there's any questions or any recaps that you'd want us to talk about and touch base on. Unfortunately, I think Iskati Setu is now running out. Maybe we can spend another 30 or so minutes singene kwelinye ibhuku. All right, so all right, so can you go to book 2? Book 2. How to choose the best music distributor. I just want to touch on a few things. Right. Let's go. So basically, a music distributor allows you to put your music onto, let's go. Allows you to put your music onto online stores. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, just go to the, I just want to go to, I think let's go to the recap. Let's go to the recap so that we just do a quick one for this one. And then I'll just explain a few things. Instead of having to go through everything, because this one is quite a short book. Leila recap. Okay, all right. Anyway, a music distributor is basically a platform where you have your music distributed into online stores. They do that on your behalf. We spoke already about DistroKid and Ditto. There's another platform called TuneCo that you can also use. These, they allow you to put your music on the online stores, which are called DSPs, right? So a music distributor is, an example is Ditto, like I said, Ditto, TuneCo. I don't know if there's another one that I've missed so far. But yeah, pretty much that's that, right? So this is how you get onto both Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, and all of those online stores. Same way like we were talking about, you can have a preference of uploading ISRC code. Remember, Guma split sheets, we spoke about this already. So that's why I'm a bit trying to see what exactly can I talk about that I haven't spoken about already. But pretty much that's it. So it allows you to put your music on there. So the biggest thing about music distributors is figuring out which one is the best for you and your music or your genre. I'll give an example. If you are an EDM artist, there's a platform called TrackSource, right? TrackSource does EDM. I don't think there's anyone that distributes more EDM than Traxsource, last time I checked. So when you go and upload your music on that particular platform, it allows other people that love that sound to find your music as well and download it and buy it, that sort of thing. Also, there are platforms like, I think it's Afrocalia, if you move on, if you move up, there's other music distributors that allow you to put e-music yako onto caller tunes, right? Caller tunes. So what happens is, in Zimbabwe, we've got a platform called Buddy Beats, right? Yes, so it's similar to that. So they will allow you to have your music, say maybe if you're in Botswana, there's Mascom. Mascom will then make caller tunes for your song, right? A music distributor can do that for you. You get what I mean? So it's identifying ukuthi wena as an artist, the music that you are putting out, if you put it on this particular platform, what are the benefits for my song? Does it enrich? Does it help me? Does it take away? Does it add on? That sort of thing. You get what I mean? So pretty much this is what music distributor. I don't know if there's any questions, maybe I can answer, because we did speak about these Guma split sheets. Yeah.
It's not really a question. It's there's a platform called CD Baby. What I loved about CD Baby, you pay once off, because a lot of many problems that artists face is you pay DistroKid this year. Then when the amount is due next year, either you don't have the money or the debit card that you used is not funded. And it might seem like it's not much admin work, but a lot of artists don't like that kind of admin work. So what I liked about CD Baby is just once you pay that, it's done. Your music is never taken off.
CD Baby is one of those early music distributors from Gudala Sibili. When we're still doing CDs, I remember that one. The advantage was like exactly like what he's saying. You pay once. But the thing is, you are not paying $23 like everyone else. You're paying a premium. That's the other thing about CD Baby. But at the same time, it's an advantage in the sense that over time, you can obviously not have to worry about paying like what he's saying. But also when you're on DistroKid, there are what you call, I'm forgetting the name that they call it, but you can pay for a song to be on that platform for forever. It's called Legacy Package. Yes, thank you very much. It is an extra premium, definitely. But the advantage is like you're already in those platforms. And Gatesi, not many people in here even knew about CD Baby. So even when you're doing splits and stuff, sometimes I'm on CD Baby might be like, okay, what's that? How do I link? How do I split your money or whatever? But it's definitely an advantage. I think even Chunko also used to do that Kudala, but they've since changed packages away as well for that. So exactly like what we were saying, research the particular platform. Don't just go on to Dito because Dito has got whatever. Dito, what I love about Dito is it's got packages that allow you to be on country by country in the UK charts. They've got a package for that. Like if you want to be in the Swedish top 10, if you're on Dito, they can help you do that. Dito also has got festivals all over the world that they work with that they can help you to get on. And I think they've got some funding to some extent. So you need to understand, a platform lay, what does it help me with? Besides just it being cheap as well. The genre that I am doing, is it genre specific? Does it have advantages on that end or whatnot? I mean, DistroKid, I think it's just got bots. I've never really had a problem with it. But yeah, I don't know if there's like a customer back and forth. Well, I've never had to have a back and forth. But someone might say they don't want DistroKid because of that. They want to be able to talk to someone on the other end. So then they opt for Ditto or they'll opt for TuneCore and whatnot. So really try and figure out these platforms that you're getting on, exactly do they help you with? There's more amuse.io, which are free, but we all know nothing is free. There is terms and conditions that will apply. So some platforms you can actually jump on and it's free. Yeah. So that's the other thing as well. I don't know if there's anyone else who wants to add something.
There's this which I want to add. Kune Bandcamp. It's not a distributor, but I think for me, it's the one which I prefer because I can sell my stuff direct. I once used Amuse, I think before 2019, and when I tried to get back, they wanted me to pay. I lost everything which was there.
Now you see what we're talking about when we're saying free is not always free. So this is why we're here trying to give each other information on how we can operate and do our things. I think Bandcamp is also, there's another one that we used to use, Gudala, where you can now put prices. You can sell your things as well. And Bandcamp also has got an advantage. You get the email list of people as well. So you can go back to your people and tell them, I now have another release. I now have this. Because at the end of the day, you want to create an email list of your clients and customers and people to keep buying your stuff. So that definitely works in your advantage as well. Right. Next book, Mtala. We can do the third one. Yeah, the launching your single in 30 days. We're just going to skim through it. But the biggest thing about launching your music is making sure that you plan ahead. Ungati, you want to upload your music today and you already want it to be available for everyone today. Plan your release so that you can have a rollout strategy. How are people going to, get accustomed to getting your song or music? Remember, we said you are Coca-Cola. If you are Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola just doesn't wake up and say, we have a new product. Cecilia, iPhone 17, iPhone 18. They slowly start telling you, guys, we've got this new product, its features, it's on this platform, it does this and what. So now you are warming up your people to that. Right? So just skim through and go to day one. Just go to day one. Yeah, just go through all the way up to day one. Right? Yeah, keep going, all the way up to day one. Keep going. I hope I can do this fast enough. Right, day one. Yes. All right, let's use the other ones from the top. These ones will take us forever. Let's use the other ones from the top. All right. There's something that I want to show you guys so that we can quickly move. I think it's, here. We can do a summarize. Right, day one. Remember we spoke about metadata. Your song is there. On your first day, you're making sure that your metadata is tagged on the song. Your song splits, you've got them. Everything is there. Right? Yonkinto is there. They're filled in, they're signed. You know you own the music, right? That's your first day. Day two, you're checking your DJ pack. Your DJ pack, are all the files in order? Do you have the versions? Everything is there. Do you also have the performance track? Right? That's the second day. Third, photo shoots, video shoots, in-studio performance of release. One thing that I've noticed is that we want to start creating content when the song is finished, which I think takes away from the user experience. Imagine if you start showing people that you are creating these bands. We've got tires, we've got what, we've got windows, and you are showing people the studio, how you guys went about. Ukali say even how you wrote your song. Take some pictures of that. That's the content that you're going to use when you're now promoting your song. Take pictures of the studio engagements with the producer. producer sithi hayi Jake i-beat leli kufanele sifake i-kick enje hey mana lami ngifake lokhu usabhimba laphana ama-words engaka before you really get that's the content that you can use because when you are posting that online on social media and stuff like that, you're already showing people the process. Most people appreciate how something was done rather than just getting there. And that's the content that you create. Don't wait until the song is now ready for you to start wanting to do e-content for. Of which it's not a bad idea if you're adding on some of these behind the scenes content. It adds a little piece of you, of your brand, the whole process and stuff. Right. So then the fourth day, you've got your artwork. I've seen a lot of people, they don't do like an artwork release. They don't really watch whether the artwork is done properly or what does the artwork even mean. That's another piece of content that sells the song. Artwork yako, was it properly done or you just went on to Canva last minute, what mana mpale loko. If are they graphic designers, are they selling a particular story of what that song is about? Next day, upload the release onto your music distributors to send to all the DSPs. This is when you're now going onto your DistroKid, if you use DistroKid, if you use whatever. This is when you're now going to your RISA. If you're getting your ISRC code there, remember we spoke about that already. You're uploading it, getting your ISRC code, going on to DistroKid, taking that up, that artwork that you already have, those files that you already have. Remember, good DJ Pack yako usu upload ngapi, good DSP yako, good music distributor, so that you have a release date, and you're marking the release date at least 4 weeks in advance. Reason why we say 4 weeks, a lot of radio stations, it's hard for them to get to your song early enough because there's so many people that are sending content. By the time they get to your song, it's already when? 2 weeks have gone. But if you send your song in advance and you're giving them the release date, they already can have their meetings, committee meetings, and decide whether or not they're going to play your songs in advance already. So that's one of the things as well. Right. We're trying to move, update your PRO and submit notification of works for your release. Go to your SAMRO if you're signed under SAMRO, BMI, Escape, whatever. Fill in your notification of works. Notification of works is you telling your PRO what your song information is about. What have you done? What is the song is about? That metadata information. So that they can go and then what? Collect Pela when your song is now what? Out there. Next day, banners. Right, banners for all social medias. I've seen people not updating their things. You've got a new release, Katesi, but your social media is still talking about an old song. Already, that is a real estate that you can use to advertise what you're doing, what you are currently working on, where people can find it. Is it coming soon? Is it already available? Asambi. Day 8, create different types of promotional videos. This is your lyric video, your visualizer, or any of those sort of clips and content that you can then use later on when the song is now out there as well. The idea is to have all these things in one place so that when you're now promoting your song, you're not thinking about creating content. You're not thinking, so namhla is a postan. It's already there. And people easily gravitate and you can easily carry on pushing izinto zakho. Next is the behind the scenes song recording, showing the process live or a live performance if you haven't already. Now is a good time. I've seen people jump in the street with a mic and they're filming and what. That's the time to start creating that content so that you can chop it up into different pieces of content that you can then use to promote your song. 7-day countdown. Guys, 7 days left to my official song. Engiza release all that stuff. You're putting out lyrics. You're, slowly but surely advertising into yako. Day 11, you're creating a WhatsApp group if you can. You're putting all your fans in one place and you're giving them all these stuff. You're going on all your bios. You're going on all your social media. You're updating everything. EPK yako ya update single new song and stuff. Day 12, artwork, bio release, radio stations you're sending. You're posting online. All those 5. Remember, we created that content already. So you're beginning to create it. And it creates that whole buzz, that anticipation. Even the radio stations are asking them, what's happening? What are we anticipating? What's coming? If you're not excited for your own thing, don't expect anyone else to be excited for your stuff. You have to create the buzz yourself. All right, you're sharing the videos, visualizers, snippets, you're creating WhatsApp teams. Kudala, we used to have street teams with flyers and stuff, and you go and see your friends and give them a flyer. Hey, I've got a new song. Kates, you can do an online street team on WhatsApp. I've seen people use WhatsApp channels very creatively. You are doing lives on Instagram, all that stuff. Day 13 is pretty much as day 12, but konaloko wuti, there's a lot of content in terms of podcasts, live stream platforms. You're making sure you've sent all that information to them. Remember, we're talking about sending to radio in advance. Next. 14, pretty much the same thing as well, but this time you're also applying, and you're sending to blogs. Telling them, guys, you can write stories about me. I've got a music video that's coming. You're giving them the press release, all that stuff. Next, radio stations. That's day 15. Next. So each day, media platform, radio station, blogs, live streams, you're attacking all those people and you're giving them each day. By the time your song comes out, guys, you can already see the work that you are doing. But it's strategic. Day 17, blogs, right? Coming soon tags are still there because it hasn't been officially released. Asambe. 18, newspapers, you're also giving them so that they can interview you. Same thing. Who else? TVs as well. If you have a music video, you're submitting to both channel or ZBC, 3K TV, whatever. And then day 20, you're on social media, live. Lives, they are that's one place that you can really engage with people. Try and use that, especially about TikTok and stuff. They really have a way. And you're also telling them about the release day. You're talking about your Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. These places, especially lives, they can really help you push your posts. Right, let's move. Day 21, you're sharing still. So this is just like a content strategy so that you don't get stuck. All right, let me take this, let me put it there, let me put it out there. There's even scheduling platforms. Kudala kwakule Hootsuite, I don't know if it's still there. Nowadays, there's something called Metricool, where you can actually plan posts and schedule them for release. All right. 22, same thing. And then we're moving to closer to release day. So the release day, that's the release day on the day. The day of the release day, you're now changing platforms. You're now writing out now. Remember, it was coming soon, it's now out now. So it seems repetitive, but it's stuff that keeps you and your fans engaged. You don't want to disconnect to singing a new song. You didn't warm up your audience. No one cares, no one knows. The radios also don't know, no one cares, no one knows. Now you wonder why they're not playing your music. All that nitty-gritty work. Right. On the official day, if you're launching it, maybe you have a party, you have a show somewhere, or you have a venue, whatever, you are really going hard on that day. You're on social media, you're in people's faces, you're on radio, hopefully you've got interviews. Remember, you reached out to radio people who done. So pretty much that's it, really. So 25, you've now got after the release. You're now giving people, hey, guys, my song is out there. You're still continuing. At least for more than a week, you're talking to these people. Yeah. All right. So that's day 25 all the way up to the end. That's 26, social media, 27. All right, wait. I think there's something there that I didn't hear. Kulama challenge. You've seen ama challenges, ama dance challenges, ama whatever you can create from your song, whether it's a dance challenge or it's a verse challenge or whatnot, create hype and anticipation and competition. Right, DJ Snippets. I don't know if there's anyone who's got questions, comments. I was trying to rush so that we meet our 1 o'clock. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't make the mistake of trying to create content after your song is already out there. It should add on to what you've already been creating with people. Yes, Mr.
I mean, I don't have much to say, but all I can say is siyadlala. Because this is very useful in terms of just, building and engaging. I think maybe it's because we just dread in front of a computer and, work and put all in the work and reach out to people and create all these things. But yeah, it's very useful. Yeah.
And one person that I know loves rollouts. I'll put him on the spot.
Etaba fethu. Avela mphakamisa.
But also help you come up with that. You can imagine. There has to be
Well, thank you very much, man. Yeah, I think for me now, so I'm a huge movie fan, right? And one of my favorite movie series of all time is the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? And if you notice, Marvel is very intentional about how they drop Easter eggs, hints for what's coming next, post-credit scenes and clues. If you're like me, I'm like an art nerd, and so I'm going to see abantu be break it down, what did I miss and whatnot. So the greatest things, I'll use this terrible example. Now the best place to start is the places where you also need a massage, right? So to take that analogy, I know you're not going to forget that, but if we put it in music business, the greatest way to create is to think like the end user, the consumer. What, when as a fan, do you enjoy from your favorite artist, right? Like I said, I like the rollout. The rollout is probably far more important than the product, right? I'm a marketing student, so there's what you call marketing concepts, right? One of them is Gudala, they used to just create the product and assume what was a thing, right? And then with time, they started selling. You are seeing an advert 20,000 times a day until you buy it. But then now the economy has moved to a more, a more consumer-oriented marketing concept where we have to find out what does the consumer want. Packaging, whatever. It's not different from music. Actually, music or any artistic or creative industry is far more demanding than a 9-to-5. So you have to be strategic to say, good, if I am going to get the attention of these people, if they're going to experience my art and leave feeling satisfied, what are the things that they need to enjoy apart from the actual music? Because there are other artists who think maybe boa machines, but then they package so that I go meet but hey, in picture postileyo, in what, everything has to be strategic. Late date night. So the release day is date night. But leading up to date night, like date night also the cars. So your music, your rollout is your foreplay, and then you're waiting for the D-Day. People need to be excited about the rollout before they're excited about the product. So just think, what are the things that you like, right? You don't have to, everyone doesn't have to be a Kendrick ngama rollouts. Singalibona selling Kung Fu Japan emakasi lapha siyahle. But what are the things about your personality ongazishare labantu? Nxa umuntu weporridge, incorporate that into ama rollout akho. Nxa umuntu wedisc, spanisi disc silibone kuma rollout akho. Because abantu now they're buying into brand personality, not just into osinika yona. Because everyone is releasing music. So why should I listen to you?
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, man. I had the nicest of times rolling out some of the biggest projects we did. But yeah, I think you got what happens there. I just wanted to get to the technical stuff because you don't know what it entails. He spoke about pictures, videos, porridge, and all that stuff. Can you put it? Is it a carousel of pictures? Is it a video? How can you put it so that people can be excited about what's to come? Sir.
I'm good. Thanks. Well, it's an interesting conversation. I just wanted to check from practice. This rollout plan, I'll talk from an artist's perspective. Is this at the level of a team? Does this suggest that you need a certain ecosystem that then enables you to stick to your lane? Because there's certain people, all they know is to sing or do the music. But how do you then get the music to out there is another story. So does this then mean you need a team of photographers, a team of content creators, a team, or you can actually do this whole rollout by yourself and whatever, so that we see?
Thank you very much. Okay, so Mina, this is my understanding. Please don't shoot me for this, because I know they were saying I'm an artist manager, so I should talk about managers' roles and stuff like that. I started off as an artist, Lami. I was a rapper, Lami, some time back. Yeah. But the one thing that I feel you can do as an artist for yourself is to teach yourself so much that you are managing yourself without having to have a manager. So that by the time the workflow and the money is now a lot, you can then designate a manager to do what you want them to do, because you understand what the brand is doing. You can tell them, "Uguti Tina Lapa, this is how we roll out our projects." Can you criticize? Can you add? You already have a system. I'm about a DIY musician, do-it-yourself musician, until the money is so much that you can now start having a team around you. Content creation nowadays is just a phone, really, and just being strategic. If you can find people around that you can work with better, it adds on. Then it means you can do more. But sometimes our budgets don't allow. But most of these things that I spoke of, almost if not everything, you can do on your own. Sibili uyayihlalela indaba yakho, uplan ama-days akho ukuthi lapha senzani, what are we doing? And you can really get up to somewhere. Until lawe i-brand yakho sile value enough to attract a lot of things. I mean, create value enough for yourself. Because that way, even when a manager comes in, you already know ukuthi i-brand yethu iyenza $500 or iyenza $20, or we use DistroKid, we use this, we use that. The dangers of having a manager when you don't know anything, it becomes hard for you to also help the manager to become a good manager. I was a good manager with him because he already knew what we were doing. So it's not like he's explaining to someone who doesn't know, or I'm explaining to someone who doesn't know. Because imagine if I'm telling you about an ISRC code and you're hearing it for the very first time in your life. Already, we are 6 months behind. Yeah, because you won't appreciate the reason why we need to release our music and have everything in one place earlier than the day of release. You won't appreciate some of these things that we do. Because when I go vele ayingomisi upload siyifake. You see. So I feel like when you can comprehend the importance of these things, then you can get a manager who really, put the icing and make your system speak and span. Because then when it's just to shoot, I'm an employee, if it's in those terms, then it works better because you already know what your brand is. But if I'm going to define what your brand should do and what your brand should know, You should be already telling me, no, I think my brand is this, and we've been using these colors, we've been doing this, I like this sound, I like to, and then I can, oh, okay, have you tried this? But I can see why you do that. Have you tried there? Or that sort of thing. Sorry.
Well, I feel I'm going off on a tangent, but well. You didn't touch on publishing. I know it's an entire workshop on its own, but is it possible?
There's a lot of things I didn't touch on because sometimes we don't want to put too much stuff. You know, music ends up being, hey, if I get into my mechanical rights and royalties and what, I'll lose the audience and it becomes something else. It becomes too technical. I just wanted this workshop to be about people talking about the problems and how to address those problems without getting too deep. Those that are here, I've got books here that I'm giving everyone who's here. There's some publishing here. There's some jargon in here. Here I didn't play around. I didn't play. I've got the jargon in there. But that was my understanding. That's why I just wanted to, just to touch upon. We can go in. Then I'll come to you.
I also wanted to say, I think one of the biggest mistakes musicians make is thinking the only investment they have to make is in paying for the studio. They don't budget for the marketing, the rollout, because if it's an investment. It's not like you're doing this as a hobby or something. If it's a business, then you have to have the resources to do the whole production plan up to the music value chain goes all the way to merchandising and so forth. There's money that you need to put in to make money out of it.
No, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, I should have started off by saying music is a business. Music is a business. If you cannot invest or put money into your music or put money into your msiga wako, capital funding. It's unfortunate we're running out of time. We would have spoken about the music monetization. How do you get your money? We did speak about some of them when we're talking about synchronization, sync licenses, how you get money from TV, Netflix, and stuff like that. There are people from Bulawayo making money from Netflix. It's not a problem. It's and those monies are bigger than the $10, $20 per beat you selling. So it becomes something that you want to do. I'm trying to round up, so maybe I'll have the last two. I don't know if there's anyone else who wants to speak after them.
All I can say for maybe my brother, you're saying you're a producer and upcoming. Teach them. That one homie, that's what I do. I teach guys who don't know anything. And then we know I do this, he does that. Because where I give me, and then I'm already experienced or trying to come to Luminous right now. How much money do you think you're gonna have to give him? So teach your homies, bro. Teach them, the guys you work with. Tell them there's this guys, research on that. What would you like to do? Because in your crew, there's guys who definitely aren't on the music-related side of things. But they can be useful, when it comes to researching, because you never know. That's where their strength lies.
I think my last 2 cents would be, going back to your question, eventually an ecosystem is going to be needed, but the general understanding of what that ecosystem is going to look like, right? Asoze expect abantu let's say coach uzacoacha njani team yakho ukuthi mele benze ungakwazi what positions they're supposed to play and what is required from a position on alone. So I think platforms like this is a good start for you guys to actually show up lapa. It already shows which you're trying to get a good understanding of what needs to be done. But the sad reality for most artists, right, is almost like umuntu orun a small business. You have to learn itil operating, kumele ufunde water, procurement, transport, what ungakaqhatsha abantu yabo because imali ayikho. Then ungaba lenhlanhla like what Larry said, which is, I feel like abaqalisa kade some artists that don't see it as much as we did, because thina maybe uthi sonke udala sasingela plan. So chomo wakho yabelalela isungura ngiyozaba umanager we hip hop wana lwathi and sonke sasifunde jobbing, but into everyone was willing to learn, yabo, but also not everyone who's around you is willing to go the whole way, which is why uqhakathekile ukuthi ube le general understanding ukwenze nxa usubona lesidlisa team le la usuqalisa ukuthatha ama task uchune, but get a general understanding of the ins and out ukuthi alright structure sami mina ngifuna ukuya lapha, so ukuthi ngifike lapha na kufunakalani, yabo. Then nxa usubona sokumele sikhule sodinga abantu. I remember at a time personally, initially sathi sihlezi phansi, was it like what 2019, and then we're like, okay, 2021 sifuna ukuba le market share ko Bulawayo. That was our focus. Everything else asingayicabangi. Then in 2022, iPlanet was Harare, so we're not even looking at any shows go Bulawayo. But because thina sonke go Bulawayo, yikho isikhathi lapha sesidinga khona umuntu oseHarare. Jay wena zwana uzaba umuntu wethu eHarare, sicela usifonele. Thina kwethu kuhlala sigezile sikhathi ibhasi. So sometimes geja sifuna ukuya ngapi singapi kathesi kumele senzeni ukuthi sifike lapha, then usukenza ngama step by step by step by step. If first step yakho kathesi ikuzwisisa i-distro kit le YouTube manje siqalisani khona, once usukuphekile then ususiya ku next thing, into le syllabus le akula sithwale sivuka le sivuthwa nge10 minutes sabe siyimbozi. So like take your time, but woba le map ukuthi suka lapha siya lapha, but ukuthi sifika ngapi GPS yethu itimele siye ngapi, and then akunye kuyahlangana ngendlela madoda.
Oh, ngiyabonga ithuba linjani sihlobo sami. Unfortunately mina ngivese ku day 30 my guy. Eish. Good people ilinjani kodwa. Mina ngibuhlungu kakhulu because I feel like miss out on a lot of ama key points akade zancitha impilo yami. Guys, mina ngi-music producer ngazibona nje ngi-fossil, ngi-dinosaur. So bengithi ukuthi maybe ngisuka lapha nje bengishapenile la, but unfortunately ngisuke ngabambeka. Into engayitsho bro, I don't want to comment much on what has been said so far, but ukuthi initiative le ngicela ukuthi ngami my guy. Ngibuhlungu because bengicabanga ngiyathola kugcwele lapha. Umsindo esuthola kuma socials engawitnessa lapho bafu. Abantu bakhala usenze njani siphevuke siyanga, but ngiyamangala why kunje. Iposter la siyibonile sazama ukuyifaka emagroupini sakhuluma labantu sibatshela, but the next thing ama-artists abekhala ukuthi sikwazi senze njani, but ama-initiatives enjani ekhona, but mina ngikutsho ukuthi let's soldier on, let's push my guy. Yebo.
I think we had some very interesting conversations earlier. You really, yeah, you missed out. Especially kuma split sheets ngale sike sadubula sibili because sihle saqalisa khona phana. Indaba yokuthi hey ingoma yami hey ntshontshela ingoma sidabulile sibili sakhuluma okunye kwa metadata safunda sibili. So I do hope I can get your information as well, because kulamanye information engizayithumezela ngeMonday abantu sebe after the weekend, then izalithumezela some more, because I do have, like, you know, ama split sheets and things that I spoke about that I feel like omunye umuntu could start from there. Amanye ama templates lawa you don't know which ones to use sometimes, yeah. So we will have those things as well. But yeah, thank you so much. And to everyone that was contributing, I think abanye have got the gift of explaining in a way that, you know, makes it easier for other people. This is why it's more of an interaction than just a present. That's why I didn't even do PowerPoint presentation. Ngabhala facts that I think are facts, and then I thought it's a discussion point. Let's start from there. And it's not to say this is how it's done. No. We're adding on to what now you are already doing. We want to add on, want to add more, want to put extra, want to give you another way of thinking. Have you ever thought about doing it this way, to add on to what you've got as well? So I want to thank again you guys for coming. At least I'm not talking to empty chairs. Hey, yeah, I got to and now I've got energy to, you know, talk to the people that allowed me to have this opportunity to maybe we can do another one. Special thanks to Bulawayo Arts Festival. They allowed us some space. This whole venue is thanks to them. The programming is all thanks to them as well. Maybe a round of applause will be due. Yes. Another special shout out will be to Vusam Kaya. He's the one that's making the books available for us. So they are at a very good pump price. And he's one person that is interested in education in music, civilly, very passionate. And we managed to link up so that we can help Bulawayo here too. I'm here to be the facilitator, and we are all here to make Bulawayo better. So a round of applause for Vusam Kaya and his team. And another special mention to Lady Chawe. Yeah, I came up with the idea, and she pretty much put it into shape and even gave me a date and a venue, and everything was put together. We need more people like that in these spaces as well, so that they can understand what we want to do and find a place where we can, where we can do it and we can share these things. So thank you, Lady Chow. And of course, being a Bulawayo person, we cannot forget to thank BCC, the City Council, our fathers, for allowing us to, to use these amazing places. Thank you very much to the team that's also filming and streaming. I hear we're streaming, we're live, and I hope I was looking nice. Lami editilo kunye, langfa lami ngaba, looking spick and span. So yeah, for the music business workshop, we will end here. If there's any more information or questions or whatever, we can continue the conversation. But officially, we are ending our workshop. I can never thank you guys enough. I've got books here. Please, don't leave without getting a copy. Please, 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 please.